It matters to you. It matters to us. Call Tipp today on 1-800-938-007.
Now, I'm glad to be joined in the studio by our relationship expert, Susan O'Donoghue. Good morning to you, Susan.
Good morning, friend.
Good to see you today. Ireland has the highest rate of loneliness in Europe. Are you surprised at that?
I am, because we're supposed to be such a welcoming country, and we're supposed to be all, I suppose our social thing. Like, I lived in America for years. Socially, I think we'd be way better, and we'd salute our neighbours, and we'd,
I would have thought so.
Yeah, but this is what's coming up in the research, and I suppose they're putting it down to factors like, they said being female, and that's another strange one, because I would imagine men would be, what's the difference? Like, I don't see the significance. I was trying to kind of, unravel that one in my mind.
What are they saying about females?
They just said that females, like factors like being female. Well, I can't see the relevance. Can you?
I'm not really, though.
No, I would imagine it depends on the situation each female is in. But I would have thought we, as females, myself, would chat a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, and I would see it with older people. I think females are much more resilient, to be honest with you,
And one thing I know is, like, even in relationships and marriage, women way outlive men, generally.
Yes.
So I don't know the relevance of that, but it's there. Having few social supports, which is fair enough. Unemployment, not being born in Ireland is an increased risk, which you can imagine. While marriage, good health and group participation help. And you could see that in some senses. But my husband, I was chatting with him the other day, and he said, but sure, if you're in a marriage, and you can still be lonely in that if the relationship's not good.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, it's the connection, isn't it, of the relationship? Yeah. It's the quality of the connection.
Yeah, and you might be on your own and be perfectly happy.
100%.
Do you know?
There's a lot to be said for being alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to get away by yourself. But I think there's a big difference between being alone and being lonely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So another thing is, I suppose, the rural isolation here, and we know that farming is really, lots of people are hard hit with loneliness and that, because it is lone working to a certain degree. Maybe they have people helping them at certain times of the year, but a lot of it is alone. The age demographic, I suppose, the older people would have a tendency, when they see people around them, that they, their friends, their families, they pass away. It does make you lonely. There's no two ways about it. Impact of COVID is still there.
Is it indeed?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think that that's still, and I know from certain clients that I have worked with throughout the years, that the impact of COVID had a huge, made a huge difference to their lives and how they lived.
In what way was it? The isolation?
It was the isolation. It was fear. It was all fear driven, right? Yeah. It was all afraid to meet up with other people, afraid to go out, the fear of what you're going to get if you're going to die. All this, like, it just added to it. And then they got into kind of, I suppose, that became the norm. And then it's hard to break out of that, because the fear is, you're filled with fear the whole time. So that can be huge. So that's a long journey to come back from.
It is, isn't it? And you're so right. I met a couple, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, down in Killarney, and they were saying to me it was their first night out since COVID. Since COVID, imagine.
Well, I'm delighted they got out.
Yeah.
Absolutely thrilled for them. But I can see it, because I work with people who feel it.
Yes.
So I can see it. And even though, I suppose, me having 3, I suppose they're adults now, but they're just gone from the teenage to the adult, and I suppose I had no choice but to get on with it. Is that what they say? And it was kind of, well, I had a choice, but it was kind of like it demanded my attention and I didn't have time to focus on it. But when you don't have those distractions, or whatever you want to call them, or life happenings, it can get on top of you. You could see how it could,
Yeah, it's something we rarely discuss, is the loneliness that's there when our kids fly the nest.
Yeah, and I think that's more prevalent if you've one.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I have 3, and I'm delighted that they're all finding their own wings, and hopefully they'll fly wherever they need to go, and their ups and downs, that's all part of it. And I'll be there to accompany them, not as much as I used to, in the sense of I won't be sticking my beak in anymore. And that's what I find hard.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, because you see them. Yeah, you see them doing things, and that there's going to be a bit of hee-haw, and you can see. But look, you can't put an old head on young shoulders, and I think they need to find that out themselves. It's about being there to accompany them when they need it.
Of course it is indeed.
Yeah.
And back to loneliness
yeah.
per se then, I mean, is it something, you see, the danger is that somebody will say, now I know you wouldn't say this, Asher, pull yourself together, go out and meet people. It's not that simple. It's not.
It's not that simple. It's fear driven, right? It's that fear of, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe for some people it can be loads of different things, like it can be a sense of being afraid of what people think of you. It can be just even to put yourself out there. God knows what's your story. Did something happen to you in the past when you put yourself out there? Did you ever have a relationship where you felt safe in it? And for a lot of people, they don't. Like, because for a lot of us growing up in the households we grew up in, it wasn't safe to be yourself. Yeah. And then, like, if you grow up in a house like that, chances are, unless you find a bit of safety along the way with somebody who's examined their own story, it's very difficult then to get a sense of what it feels like to be in a safe relationship.
Yes.
Yeah? How many people do we know, honestly, where we could tell them everything?
God, I don't know if I know anybody.
Well, I would say I have probably 3 or 4 people in my life that I feel that safe with, and I feel so privileged.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like I could say, look, I'm after, shooting them. Can you go get the shovel? That kind of sense of that. Yeah. So, I mean, there's not too many of us have that. And it's such a special thing to have. But to have that, you need to work on yourself. You need to have that sense of safety within to be able to trust others. And the other side of it is being able to separate out that if somebody does, well, if they do say something and it does come back, am I okay with that? See, there's a lot in it, isn't there, to have a relationship that you feel safe in. And that helps you not to be lonely. It's all connected. So if...
That's interesting, but you are putting yourself out there if you want people in your life, aren't you?
Of course you are.
Yeah.
110%.
But are you making yourself a little vulnerable too in its own
see,
way?
I don't like the whole I'm making myself vulnerable, because I think it
I have to watch the semantics around you all the time.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's just me. This is me now. But the whole thing about being vulnerable.
Yes.
If I sit with somebody and I say to them, oh my God, you're very vulnerable now. How does that feel for you now? Where's your power?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't like it as a label, but I'm just wondering.
It's a vulnerable situation. Yeah. And we all get into them.
If you give your information to somebody, you are trusting 100%. Them with your life.
100%. You're hoping, that they won't go and, I suppose, retell that or add legs to it or do whatever, right? So you are putting yourself out there.
Yes.
But if you feel secure in yourself, and if you've done work on yourself, and if you feel like, do you know what? Whatever they do is about them and for them. Yeah? It's nothing to do with me. And I'm okay with who I am and what I have done in this life. Yeah? And like, their judgment is about them. It's not about me. I'm the one who takes care of me, and I'm the one who says whether or not, yay, nay, this is wrong. And your story is very personal, and it's also very private. And we need to have boundaries around it. We need to know who to let in and who not to leave in.
So what do you say to somebody who would describe themselves then, Susan, as being lonely?
Okay, I would say to them that, it's very important that you take care of yourself in this. And that's about... people will say, go out and connect with others or be active or take notice, and you know what I mean, of how your feelings are, which I would say is top of my list, right? I would say that it's to work on yourself will support you to move from that loneliness feeling, that you will be able to go out and make connections. Because there's no point in me saying to you, if you haven't done work on yourself, go out there and meet a few people and you'll be sorted.
Right.
It doesn't work.
So what, you look at yourself?
What you need to do is if you can, right,
yes.
you need to connect with somebody, right, who you think that you may feel safe with. And that's going to be a journey. It's not going to be, especially if you're very lonely and you feel like, oh my goodness, I just can't put myself out there. It's too threatening for me. So therefore, what you need to do is you need to find maybe one person that you feel that maybe you could build a bit of safety with. Yeah?
Yes.
And you need to take care of yourself in that if it doesn't feel safe, you pull back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like dipping your toe in the water. It's like testing it to see, is this okay for me? Am I gone in too far? Do I need to pull back a bit? And there's going to be a bit of that goes on. It's so threatening to put yourself out there, as we said, in relationships, because of everything that can happen within it. So the key to not being lonely is the quality of each relationship. And the most important relationship you have is with yourself. So the quality of the relationship you have with yourself is going to determine the quality of the relationship you have with another. So if I want to come out of a loneliness state, right, I need to check in with myself, see what's going on, how I'm feeling, what do I need to do, what sits right for me, what can I take on board, what am I able to do at the moment, right? So it's about checking in with yourself first to see where I'm at. Because sometimes it might be even too much to even pick up the phone and call someone.
Yes.
So you need to sit with yourself first and know that you're worthy and know that you're good enough. You know that you're worthy and that you're valuable and that you're worthy of love and belonging.
And
That's
Susan,
the key.
the loneliness that might come from grief, is that different to what we're talking about here? Because that's a natural thing, I guess, is it?
Well, they're all kind of natural, aren't they?
You see, I knew.
Yeah.
See, you should have been a barrister. Do you know that?
Really?
Yes, they are. You're dead right. But but do you take my point to some degree? That
I do. That this is something in life that might be more
that you
common.
can pinpoint.
That you can pinpoint. That you can label as such, right?
Yeah.
But something happens in everybody's life to get them to that stage.
Yes.
Whether it's like it's in your story somewhere. Yeah? And it's how now am I going to mind myself in this? What do I need to do? What's safe for me to do? And you know, if we don't take a little chance in life, if we don't put ourselves out there, there'll be no movement. If we do the same thing we've been doing all along, we'll still just keep going.
So there's a little value in people saying, do try and get out there in some way.
There's value in somebody saying, how would it feel for you?
Okay.
Or how is this for you?
Yes.
And how does that sit for you? Because see, if I say, do you know what now? What you need to do is you need to get out there. What I'm doing is I'm putting my stuff on you now. I'm telling you what my need is. I need you to get out there because I don't want to be watching you sitting here. So that means that I can't accompany you.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference? If I could accompany you, I'd be saying to you, if you said to me, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And I'd say, well, I don't know if this will sit right for you, but how does this sound for you? It's a lot gentler. You know,
very interesting. Frank is in Thurles and he is posing a question to Susan. He says, it's not always about relationships. Is it not the case that a person can be intellectually lonely?
Okay. And what would Frank exactly mean by being intellectual lonely, I wonder?
You see, I don't know, but is it close to a question that we came across some time ago where people grow differently in relationships? And maybe,
okay.
Now I'm guessing. I'm guessing.
I'm only guessing as well. That's why I asked the question, because I don't really understand it fully. But thank you for sending it in. What I would imagine is, look, it's connection within relationship. So if I'm with somebody and I feel like I'm growing apart intellectually, there's more to me than my intellect, right? And I presume what he's talking about is knowledge, not intelligence.
Well, I was just about to say that to you. Yeah. I'm around you too much. Because they're two very different things, aren't they?
Hugely different, right?
Okay,
so
good.
now am I judging the other on the knowledge they have?
Yeah.
And am I then seeing them for being knowledgeable and not seeing the person?
Yeah, because an intellect doesn't really change all that much, but knowledge can.
Knowledge. Like, I think we're all born, like you see people who are in the worst situations when they are born and they come out of it and they're thriving, and you go, oh my God.
How did you do that?
That's intellect.
Yeah.
That's somebody, we're all born intelligent, right? That's somebody that's survival, that's amazing. And if those people had the same situation as the most knowledgeable person on the planet, they might be the most knowledgeable person on the planet.
Yes.
But they didn't have, I suppose, the resources, or they didn't have the time to dedicate to knowledge. That's the difference. Yeah. So I think, and we're all, I suppose, knowledgeable in different ways, and we all will be drawn to different things, you know, intelligence-wise, what we want to learn and what we don't want to learn, and we'll be good in the field we choose.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's part of our story as well.
Of course it is. Indeed.
So
step one, if there's people listening to us, they might be feeling particularly lonely on this Tuesday morning, what would you say to them specifically?
Well, number one, recognise it and name it.
Okay.
Yeah. Know that you're not alone, that there is people out there that can support you. Ask yourself, what's my need in this? What do I need, and what can I do?
Yes.
You know, what sits right for me? Is it what won't be so threatening for me that I won't be able to do it? Yeah, that'll just create so much fear inside me, because it's hugely fearful.
Yes.
To put yourself out there, right? So it's connecting with yourself first. right? Because remember, everybody who's born on this planet, yeah, has the right to belong and be loved. Yeah, and you have it, whoever you are out there who's feeling lonely, you have those rights, yeah, and that's a need that we all have, and we all deserve it, and we all need it. So what do you need to support yourself in that? What do you need to get that connection you need? And sometimes, you know, being really lonely, we can be really needy, yeah.
Sure.
So it's about, what are my needs? My needs are screaming out. Remember, all behaviour makes sense, and all our feelings are way in to let us know what we need. So those feelings that come up for you, sit with them, look at them, think about what you're needing them. Can I do this? Can I do that? Would it be okay for me to pick up the phone and connect to somebody? Or is that just way beyond it? And then what's another little step I can do today? It doesn't, how do you eat an elephant? That's my usual, one bite at a time. This isn't something that happens overnight, right? You didn't get to this stage overnight.
Yes.
It happened gradually. Now, just take the time and know that you're valued and you're worthy, right, of being safe and being loved and having a sense of belonging. So do what you need to do around it. And each individual is going to be different, and each person is going to be different. And as you said, Fran, we could name out 100 different things. Go out and get, you know, meet people, join a club, painting, go, you know, walking, go. You could say all the... They're no good to somebody unless they have the I suppose, unless they're not, don't feel so threatened by meeting people. And yes, it is threatening to meet people sometimes.
Of course it is.
That's the bottom line. And it's threatening to put yourself out there.
Well, that's for sure. But some very good advice there, some lovely advice there altogether. You mentioned the phone there, though, however. I'm always intrigued, because I suffer from this a little bit myself. Some people find it very hard to make a phone call.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Really, really difficult to make a phone call. And I have to put my hands up here. I'm not sure why. Really, but I'm often afraid to make a phone call.
Okay, I wouldn't have that. No,
well,
I don't. Yeah, so that's interesting, isn't it? And it's curious. Then it's about, God, I wonder why it is that I'm afraid. And does it come up with certain people at certain times?
It's just kind of in general, you know, just actually making
a phone call.
And I rarely would have spoken about it, except I met somebody recently and said, yeah, I'm exactly like that. I find it very hard to make a call. So I'm not sure, is it that social connection as well that you're afraid of to some degree?
It could be, or it could be maybe something happened to you in your story in regards to a telephone call, or maybe, you know what I mean? Something that...
Oh, that's very good.
It could be something, like there's 100 million different explanations there could be. What I've noticed is like sometimes I'd have students who'd come in to where I work, and you know we'd be supporting them through their, I suppose, you know, they'd be just coming in for experience. But what I've noticed is a lot of young people are hugely reluctant to pick up a phone.
Oh yeah, they all want to text now.
It's challenging. It's challenging to speak on the phone. No problem at all. Pick it up and, you know, message somebody or anything like that, or do anything else with it that I'd be boggled looking at them going, how'd you do that? But it's just the whole speaking with somebody on the phone. But there's more connection with somebody when you speak with them.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's what the problem is, you say.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's not a problem, remember.
Yeah.
Because you put this in place to safeguard yourself. You know what I mean? So it's not a problem. It's to be curious around it. It's not that I need to fix anything, because you're perfect the way you are.
So you just need to look at it.
You need to look at it, you need to acknowledge it, you need to think, is it okay for me? Am I comfortable with it?
Yeah.
You know, is it something that I'd like to make a change in? You know what I mean? Would I like to be in a different place? And how would that be for me? And how would I see myself there?
It's very interesting indeed. It's exam time as well.
Yes, and I've one going in tomorrow. Best of luck, lads.
Oh, very best of luck indeed. Yeah. It's a strange time, isn't it? It's an exciting time, but it's a...
Yeah. This is my third now, so I can honest to God say it's so calm, it's not even funny.
All right, okay, very good.
So it's great.
Well, that's down to you, I'm sure,
Well, it's down to the house, I think. You know what I mean? There's no, oh my God, there's none of that. There's no... oh, it's on tomorrow, are you okay? There's none of that. Like, we all know it's on tomorrow. We all know that they're amazing. That, you know, I saw on it always comes up every year anyway. I saw there on the news, I know it was this morning or last night, the way, you know, there's a certain percentage of students now who say that they're so stressed out coming up to the Leaving Cert. Should we know that?
Yeah.
It's not a great exam, is it? You know, we're not promoting their mental health by giving it to them. But the thing about it is look, this is where we are. It's the system we need to get through to get to out the other end of it. If it doesn't happen for you, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of other ways to get in and get what you want. Don't panic. Stuff happens. Try and make it as light as possible between now and tomorrow, because that's just the way it is. Get as much sleep as you can. If they go up to bed 15 times today and you go up and they're in bed and they're asleep for 4 hours in the middle of the day, leave them off.
Leave them off, yeah.
Yeah. It's about feed them well,
Yeah.
take care of them. Talk about stuff that's not related. Try and keep your mind off it. Bring the dog for a walk the legs off him. That's what it's about now. Yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned all the other options. We do a lot of work with the ETB, Susan. I mean, there's so many options for people out there now,
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that you really can't do, because you can go back doors into it. And
You can
all
do
sorts of
everything,
stuff,
everything, and the world is their oyster.
Yeah.
And I know they said it about our age, but it wasn't really, was it, Frank, compared to now?
Nah, will you look at where I ended up? Susan, a pleasure as always. If people want to talk to you, how can they do that?
Thanks, Fran. It's 086 3676 256 or info@emotionalwellbeing. Thanks very much to everybody.
Thanks very much indeed for that, Susan. 1800 938 007. Now, the finalist in our Mr. competition is Chris Clifford from Woodinstown in Kerr. Well done to you, Chris. You're into the big draw for €200 this coming Friday, and we wish you the best of luck. That's it for me. Stephen produced. The other Stephen is on the way with the time tunnel, and I'll talk to you tomorrow from Nina. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.
Tipp FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, Puck On. Main Peugeot dealers in the Premier County. And now stocking the full range of the luxury French car brand DS Automobiles. Book your test drive today with Slattery's Garage, Puck